We're going to show you the removal of the left trunk lid cylinder next. The removal of the one on the right side is identical, except there's the pump in the way, and that is kind of hard to film that way. But it's basically the same, only the hoses are shorter on the right side, and you have to feel your way down to the bottom mounting pin of this cylinder. The tools you need are a flat screwdriver, 1/4 or 3/8 inch, and some cutters for zip ties, and some zip ties to refasten the hoses later on. We will start out with removing the top mounting pin, then the bottom mounting pin, then we will move the trunk lid frame a little bit and support it on a piece of scrap wood. That makes it easy to take the cylinder out and put the replacement in. So let's get to it. Here the upper mounting pin is secured around the collar of the clevis on this cylinder, and we can wiggle and turn, or we can push a little bit, help it that way. The pin is out. You see how this wraps around the collar on the cylinder's clevis. Now we'll show you the trick to removing the lower mounting pin. You'll see a special clip on it that is kind of tricky. It's easier to show you when it's out. We want to turn it such that the rounded portion of it points forward, because now we can slide in our flat screwdriver, if I can see this without the camera in my way. And there we go. We have pulled this tool off the lower mounting, this clip off the lower mounting pin. And just to show you more detail, it was rounded at one end, and we stuck the screwdriver in there that opened up the pin, and we could pull it plain off the mounting pin. Now that clip is off, and we can just take the lower mounting pin out. And as I said earlier, at this point we will lift up the trunk lid mechanism a little bit and support it here under this seat buckle type latch with a piece of scrap wood. This now allows us to simply pull the trunk lid cylinder out, the old one. And an important detail to show you is that there is a cable that goes through the hook on the lower portion of the cylinder. Down here is the cable. I hope the camera can catch that. You can see the ball and the cable that slides through this hook. What these parts do is as soon as this trunk lid cylinder extends a little bit, it pulls on the cable, and that unlatches the front corner of the trunk lid. So if you ever wonder why when you take out only the front cylinders you cannot manually close the trunk lid, that is because when the trunk lid was previously pulled back and pushed forward again, the cylinder had not fully retracted with hydraulic pressure. Through hydraulic pressure, it had just been pushed down, and that still kept tension on the cable that unlatches the forward corner of the trunk lid. So that forward corner is permanently unlatched as long as the cylinder is partially extended. If you were ever to only want to take out front cylinders and get the car back on the road while those cylinders are out, you actually have to disconnect the trunk lid cylinders in the rear, push them down, or ideally just leave them disconnected so that this release cable is relaxed, and at that point you can push down the forward corner of the trunk lid. Anyway, we will next replace this cylinder with one rebuilt by Top Hydraulics, and I'll show you as we go. Basically, we have to cut a few zip ties and There's one here, one here, one here, one here, one back here. So here we are. I had a chance to grab the rebuilt cylinder from Top Hydraulics. Features are very clear on it. It's got the brass collar on top. It's got brass collars where the hoses go into the cylinder. That is because we undid the crimps that held the hoses in place, machined those out in a CNC machine, and pulled out the hoses, replaced the seals, the swivel seals, because these swivel seals will eventually fail, and refastened the whole thing in a pretty ingenious way. And this is how the cylinder would be shipped to you. It could be shipped to you with the clevers on top, screwed down, or completely detached. The important part that I want to get across right now is the cylinder normally gets shipped with a shaft fully retracted. Top Hydraulics has replaced the flimsy jam nut with a bigger one that we actually kind of glued into place. By glued, actually I mean thread locker. This nut is where it's supposed to be, so once the clevers is screwed down onto the shaft, you'll have the cylinder at the correct length. Now, in order to install it into the car, you have to pull out the shaft a little bit. Now, there's a bunch of friction inside these cylinders, so one way people do is stick a screwdriver through the bottom, step on the screwdriver, another screwdriver on the top, and just pull it out. You can then pull out the shaft an inch or two to make installation easy. Don't pull it out too far, you don't need all that much. The other way, if you don't want to break your back by pulling on the cylinder shaft, is simply lodge a screwdriver under here and work this up a little bit. You could even go the elegant way and extend it a little bit more by lodging a flathead screwdriver under here. Not flathead screwdriver, an open wrench. Be careful, you should not be touching the shaft with tools farther than a ½ inch from its extended position. You don't want to scratch up the shaft, but this ½ inch or so extended shaft is totally sufficient to install the cylinder in the car again. The other way to do it, I'll show you later when we put on the clevers, is you could also have the shaft still in the down position and simply not screw the clevers on all the way. Then when the cylinder is in place and the top clevers has been secured in the trunk lid frame, you could simply, with a 13mm wrench, keep turning clockwise, and you basically pull out the shaft, because top and bottom of the cylinder are secured to the car. So as you turn this nut, it actually turns the shaft and ultimately turns it up to the clevers, and you have everything at the right length. So several ways to do this. You just pick for yourself what's the most appealing to you. We have taken the old cylinder out. The hoses are still hanging out here. Slid the new cylinder in place. I want to show you how the cable and ball have hooked into the bottom of this cylinder. Then I put the cylinder back where it belongs, down here, and push in the mounting pin. We put the circlip back on. There we go, it's in place. Now on the top, we want to make sure the hoses are out of the way. We can actually already replace the first zip tie on here, just to get these hoses in the right position so they don't get caught in the trunk frame. I'll leave this zip tie loose, we'll tighten it later. And now we take our support wood piece out, And as we lower the trunk lid frame into place, we find just the right height at which the holes all line up, and we can put this pin back into place. Now I rotate it, push it through, clip it around the collar, and the cylinder is in place. Now we're down to routing the hoses the way the old hoses were routed. So we take out the old hoses, put in a new, tie the zip tie, same over here, same where else here, and of course through all these mounting clips at the back of the gas tank and over to the pump. We've earlier shown you how the hoses get replaced on the pump in the chapter on the front lock cylinder. Now, if the lower mounting pin here should go bad on you, if you didn't figure out quite how to get it off the lower mounting pin without mangling the clip on it, the Mercedes replacement part number is 912-002-00-8003. That is for an 8mm pin, and it actually, you could just put in a regular circlip that is, so here it is, this pin clip again. You could also use a regular 1/4-inch circlip that you can get in a regular hardware store instead of ordering an expensive part from Mercedes and waiting for it. But again, this video should have shown you how to get the clip out without damaging it. So do the same thing on the right side, and then we're off to the main lift cylinders.